Hey, butterflies. This is your girl, Sharon K. Griffin, with One on One. Yes, one on one with yours truly, Sharon K. Griffin. On today, I have such an amazing guest. His name is Lamont Bershawn. He is a life and relationship coach, and he has some great news to share with my listening audience. I am so excited. We're going to talk about Black love and Black Lives Matter. Yes, we all matter, but right now we are talking about Black love and Black Lives Matter because Black lives are a part of all lives and we matter. Freedom. Hey, butterflies, this is your girl, Sharon K. Griffin, aka Madam Butterfly. I hope that you are doing phenomenal on today and that you are flapping those wings. Yes. My special guest on today is Lamont Bershawn, who is a life and relationship coach. And I have to say, I know him from back in my hood of Pennsylvania, Shelton Hill Township, where we would do the damn thing. So, Lamar, I would like to say welcome, welcome, welcome. And especially welcome because this was so last minute and you were so phenomenal about saying yes. So I'm very appreciative.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So on my show, we just talk like we just in the living room or wherever, just chopping it up and, talking about life. And because you're a relationship coach the most, and I follow your threads,
Okay.
I really wanted to talk about Black love with you
Okay.
because I meet so many women and men who have been disappointed by Black love.
Okay.
So why do you think that is? Like, and then the women will be like, well, I'm only dating Black. And I'm like, but you're disappointed by it and you say you don't want it. So I'm confused. Help me, please. Help me help them.
Well, a lot of times when people get involved in relationships, they tend to actually, let me just say this.
Okay.
In order to love someone or be in relationship with someone, you have to first know who you are.
Right.
Okay? Know who you are, know your capabilities. And it's very easy to gravitate with someone else to someone else. But a lot of times what people do is either conform or lose themselves. And when they lose
Yes.
themselves, they become disappointed with the other individual
Right.
as well, as well as themselves.
Okay.
Because they expected something that they probably saw that really wasn't there. I always say a lot of people have the quote unquote potential to
Yes.
do anything, to be things. However, you can't ride on a person's potential because they may never arrive to their potential.
Right. Right. So I have to ask you this. You were engaged and I followed you and get your engagement. I followed up until when she moved to Pennsylvania. And then all of a sudden it was over.
Right.
And I don't get in people's business. I don't make judgments. I allow people to tell their own story. And I think your story is phenomenal, probably, because she moved all the way from Oklahoma to Pennsylvania.
Right.
only to turn back around and go home. Did you kick her out?
Um, I didn't kick her out. I asked her to leave.
Okay.
But we had been dating for about 8 months.
Okay.
Okay.
It was a beautiful dating, a course of dating
Right.
and engagement. It was beautiful. I followed your journey. So go ahead.
We talked prior to me actually meeting her.
Okay.
For about 3 years, on and off.
Wow.
Yeah, on and off. She would let me know about the things that she was doing.
Okay.
I would let her know things that I was doing. At the time I was writing another book. But when I finally met her, funny thing is, when we talked, I just asked her because I knew my mother was going to his bowling tournament,
Okay.
about 10,000 women. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is something that she would like to do. Just meet me there. So I asked her if she wanted to go. I paid for a ticket, everything. And I flew her to Reno. That's when it was.
Okay.
Was it Reno? No, I'm sorry. It was in Louisiana at the time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's where the tournament was, in Louisiana.
Okay.
And I picked her up and had a great time. Had a great
Right.
time. Hit some money, and I asked her. I said, "Well, how much did you lose?
Okay.
The whole time that you were here?" She said, "I lost $1,000." I didn't want her to lose anything,
Right.
so I gave her, before I took her back to the airport, I gave her $1,100 cash,
Wow. That was
and
very nice of you.
I didn't want her to lose anything. I just wanted
Well,
to have a good time.
and what I wrote down is you give good gifts. Like I followed the whole journey.
I mean, and you know what? That was my fault, because I realized she had been married. I'd have been her fourth marriage.
Okay.
And
Well,
I'd have
I've
been
been married 5 times, so okay.
that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine.
I gotta tell myself.
When it was her case, though, every single one of her marriages were abusive.
Okay. Oh, got you. Got you. Got you. Got you.
Physically, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially,
Okay.
um, and she lost herself each time. When I
Okay.
came along, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into,
Okay.
because it was long distance. I'm in Pennsylvania, she's in Oklahoma,
Right.
and every time we wanted to see each other, I either flew her to where I was, or I flew out there.
Yeah, I remember them hotels
Yeah,
and the lives in the hotels. And oh, Bishop needs love too.
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember. I was
I mean, and I can't deny I loved it. I
like, okay,
genuinely.
okay, okay.
But sometimes when you give a person too much of what they're not used to,
Right.
now they're expecting it, because I did it from day one.
Okay.
Now she's expecting these things, and then it was like, it was never hard for me, because of the
Right.
love I had for her.
Right.
But when a person is going through a whole bunch of traumatizations and reliving triggers, um, it became bad, and I ignored the signs.
Okay. What signs did you ignore?
Um,
Because, and the reason I'm asking you this is because most of the time the women say that they ignored the red flags. So
right.
which red flags did you ignore?
Well, she was an undercover alcoholic.
Okay.
I saw like 6 or 7 bottles of straight vodka, empty bottles, but these bottles are empty under the bed.
Gotcha.
Um, she would always have to get a few drinks before she caught the plane.
Okay.
Um, And then it was the medications. Now, she had enhancements done.
Yes.
Um, so I don't know if it was from the enhancements. However, it was like she was hooked on a lot of different things.
Okay. So are you guys friends now? Because go ahead.
I don't talk to her. I don't have anything against her.
Okay.
When I said I was done, I was completely done because of the way she did it. Now I did allow her because once I moved her up to Pennsylvania, things seemed to get worse after 2 weeks
Okay.
because I guess she didn't really want me to see what I had seen.
Okay.
But I went to go hug her one day, and she actually cringed up in the corner and was like, oh my God, oh my God, what are you doing to me? And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? I mean, what's wrong? I had
Right.
never raised my hand to her. I had never hit her. I never did anything wrong to her.
Have you ever encouraged her to get her healing or to seek
Absolutely.
counsel or therapy or just something that could help you two together? Not only her, but since you were engaged and about to get married, both of you.
Absolutely, because I was all for it. I was
Okay.
all for it. And her response was, there's nothing wrong with her. She
Okay.
don't need any counseling.
Okay.
Okay. So then I realized that she was out there throwing herself sexually to other men. And
Okay.
that's can't control her. I'm not trying to control her.
Right.
But then I realized sometimes people don't love you for who you are. They
Right.
love what you're doing for them.
So, like I said, you give very good gifts, but who should she have fell in love with? Who is Lamont? Not the gifts, not the outer appearance,
Right.
but who are you in here?
That's who I wanted to show her. Because there were times she was crying and I held her. And there were times that she would call her mother and call her sister and say, this man loves me like no other man have ever loved me.
Okay.
And I did that. I did everything.
But okay, now I'm gonna look at it from a hurting woman's perspective
Right.
because I've been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
When I met my husband, I I had started dating good guys, real good guys. But then in the back of your mind, you would think, when are the tables going to turn? So I understand from a woman or from anyone's perspective how you can think, because everything is in the mind. It starts in the mind. How
Absolutely.
you can think that this person is doing this because I experienced that.
Right.
And I think, like you said, we have to get to know the person, the core, the
Right.
likes, the don't likes, what makes them tick, what makes them smile, what they like, what they don't like, things like that. And I think as people, we don't get to know one another. Those intimate details, like, hey, I've been abused these amount of times. This is what I'm used to. If I act a certain way, it's
Mm-hmm.
because of this.
Right.
Um, how does a man respond to those type of things? How did you respond when she's in a corner and she's frail and she's like, oh my God,
Well,
were you able to love her still, or were you like, oh shit?
well, I have to be honest because it shocked me and it startled me at the same time.
Okay.
Me being a black man in Montgomery County,
You'll go to jail. She called them cops.
you call the cops, I'm going to jail.
Right.
Okay. And then I'm like, okay, I need to take a step back and really look at the situation. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
once she calmed down, I said, well, what happened?
Okay.
In a little girl's voice, she said it was a trigger. A trigger.
Oh.
I said, well, you have to get those triggers handled. You have to, you know, you know.
Nigga, you need help. I ain't signed up for this.
And that's what I said. I said, you told me it's a trigger. I said, but you need to get that shit handled because my life and my freedom is all that I have. Because if you take one,
as a black man, that's all you got.
all that. And then, you know, that evening we went out, came in, and then we went to bed. When I wake up in the morning, she's over me just staring at me. I'm saying, you okay? You all right?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. Audience, I do not mean to laugh, okay?
Listen, I'm sure a whole bunch of people laughing because they're like, wow, you still dealt with that? Because I mean, she's staring at me. And I say, are you all right? And she says to me in a little girl's voice now, why did you say you're going to kill me? I jumped up out the bed literally. I said, you got to get yourself some help. I said, what are you talking about? Oh, it was a bad dream. I had a bad dream.
Oh, wow.
So
go ahead. I'm going to let you go, then I'll go.
Yeah, so I'm like, something is deeper going on psychologically with her.
Right.
And I need to get to the root of it. If not, I'm either going to be dead or I'm going to be locked up.
Well, sometimes people suffer from PTSD. Like a lot of times when we talk about PTSD, we talk about it from the perspective of the military, going in the military, going to war, coming back, and you're all messed up. But what I've been learning is that PTSD can happen from trauma, from childhood things, from bad marriages, from abuse. And if we don't know someone is dealing with those issues, then they bring them to us and then we have to deal with them.
Yes.
So, wow. Wow.
I always said from the moment before you meet an individual, talk on the phone or what have you, you're dealing with so many things.
Yes.
You're dealing with their parents' train of thought,
Yes.
their teacher's train of thought, everybody that rejected him, everybody that either molested him, whatever they have gone through.
Every hurt, every pain, every good memory, every bad memory, they're bringing that to you, and it can be baggage.
From the moment of the word hello.
Yeah.
So much.
And I think nowadays, so many people are afraid to date because of the baggage that they've experienced and the baggage that they're carrying. And a lot of people are like, I want a relationship, but I don't want the baggage that comes with it. And that's when it comes, in my opinion, about doing the work, the inner work, the healing. You know, and a lot of us are afraid to heal because we have to pick a mirror up and look in it. And sometimes we don't like what we see because it's ugly.
Yep.
You know, so how would you tell someone who is trying to get back into the dating scene? How would you tell them to go about that in 2020, especially COVID, racial divide, just so many things are coming at us. Loss of jobs, loss of life. Can someone still date now?
You can still date. You can still
Okay.
date. Just be cautious.
Okay.
Just be,
In which ways?
Every way. Be cautious.
It sounds like you got a little anger.
No, look, listen, there's so much that's going on.
Yes.
I mean, COVID have changed the dynamics of living.
Yes.
I mean, who knew except Michael Jackson back during that time, that he was the only one wearing a mask, germ conscious.
Right.
Even in look, I love Mike. Rest in peace, brother. Now I'm sure if he could look right now and see us right now, he'd be laughing like, I told y'all so.
Wow.
Because I mean, so much is out here that can actually destroy you, just like that.
What about virtual dating?
Oh, that's not harmful. I mean, you don't have anybody's address. You just got their computer address. So virtual, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, beautiful. That's cool. That's
I
cool.
think virtual dating is the best because you get to know someone, you get to spend time, and you're not having those intimate or the sexually intimate moments or the
Right.
hugging and the kissing, but you're doing things together, fun things together, and you're
Right.
spending time and learning the individual. But then again, you never know someone.
You never do. You
You
never
know,
do.
yeah, I've had the oh shit moments like, what the hell? Who is this person? And then I'm telling on myself, I've also been with individuals where I did not allow them to get to know me. And I think it was because I knew they weren't going to be around for so long.
Right.
But then now I ask myself, well, what the hell were you with them for? Like, that just didn't make sense.
Sometimes people with other individuals out of being convenient, their friends or what have you, and
Mhm.
them all the time. So okay, well, cool. We could date. It's cool.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
have any type of feelings for you, so we all right. It's like, hey, but then when those feelings and those emotions get tapped into,
Yeah, it can be dangerous for some people.
that's right.
So, are you dating now?
Absolutely, yes, I am. I am actually. The funny thing is, the last time we were talking on,
Yes, I know I said something.
there's a special young lady out there for you, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I have to say that I am engaged to be married. I do
Yay!
have a very special queen in my life, and she's absolutely, positively perfect.
Oh my God, I am so super excited for you. I
She's an
spoke
author.
this thing.
Yes, she did. She's an
But
author.
but wait a minute, last night when I booked you, I thought about what you said to me
Uh huh.
about having your own show, and you were saying about going far, and you said it again today, as far as you want to go. And
Hmm.
I was like, damn, when I thought about you last night, I said, he spoke this
Right.
into existence. Then I was looking for this shirt, and the
Uh
shirt says, I want my own show.
huh.
And I know it's in a drawer somewhere. And I just thought about that. I thought about you. I thought
Right.
about now. And I thought about God.
Right.
I can't leave God out of my equation.
Right. God is
And
always there.
yes, and the crazy thing, we've both been in ministry, and this is taking a turn. We've both been in ministry,
Right.
and you have come out of the confounds of
Absolutely.
religion, and
Right.
I have, and we're such on the same path regarding God and spirituality and life
Mhm.
and relationships. And for
Right.
me, that's refreshing.
Very. Very. From the same high school too. Now, don't forget that.
Yeah, and from high school, yes, and from high school. It's
Right.
just like, dang, God, like, yo, we doing it.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
we talked, I don't know if it was March or April,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're about to get married.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm like cheesing.
The funny thing is, social media is an avenue for a lot of people to meet.
Yes,
A whole bunch of people. You get caught up in a whole bunch of stuff too. However, this young lady, she's an author. She's actually in school to be a psychologist, a
nice.
forensic psychologist. Um, She is, when I say someone that's your equal, that actually not only talks, communicates, but deposit inside of you. I mean, if I'm down, she'll take time out and say, "What's wrong? Let's communicate. Let's talk about it."
That's beautiful.
And, I mean, that's how we do it.
And you know what's amazing? And I was telling my husband this. I talk to a lot of men, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm the other wife. And don't get me wrong, when I say that, it's all business as far as a business relationship. But have you ever heard the term work wife or work husband? And these gentlemen, they grab onto every word that I say.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my husband, I said, wow, it's very interesting that a lot of the men, it's like they're waiting for the next word. And my husband says, Sharon, you're giving them something that they haven't had before. You're listening to them and you're talking to them and you're giving them words of wisdom, excuse me, because they don't have anyone to talk to.
Right.
And that's what I tell women all the time. Listen, a lot of times we just want to yap. But sometimes we need to listen to the heart of the individual. So whether it's in business or a relationship, listen and take heed to what the person is telling you, because they're telling you exactly what they want you to know and what you need to know. But most people don't take the time to listen.
You're right.
You
and
know,
that's a key point in relationships. You have to listen.
but a lot of people don't.
Listen.
And not only listen with this,
listen to this,
but listen with that. And ladies say to me, Sharon, how come you've been married so many times? And I'm like, I'm confident. That's the first thing I always say. I'm confident in who I am. But now as we're talking, I listen.
Right.
You know, and I'm proud to say that as a woman. You know, because a lot of us, we do have a lot to say. We were born to talk.
Absolutely.
But sometimes we just have to fall back and be quiet.
That's right.
So how this beautiful young lady capture your heart?
Well, we were talking, and it was her birthday, and I asked her what was she doing. She said she didn't have any plans, so I asked her to come out here. She was going to leave on a Thursday, but her aunt said, "You know what? No, we leaving on Wednesday."
Okay.
And at night they got here, and when I looked into her eyes, I said, "Wow, she's the one." I just knew.
Okay. So I have to ask you this. So going back to your previous engagement, did you just know then, or were you forcing it? Because sometimes we force it.
I have to be honest and say I forced that. I tried to turn something. I tried to make something be there that wasn't.
Okay.
Okay. It was there on my end, but it wasn't there on her end.
Okay.
She there's an old saying. There's a saying. I'm not gonna say it's an old saying, but if you're still craving the village,
okay,
you know what I mean?
I get it.
You're not worried about me. You're consumed with how everybody else feel and think. Go to the village. So
Gotcha.
you know that's what happens.
Well,
I'm not upset. I'm happy.
Well, of course you're not. You're engaged.
Yeah.
And about to get married. So when's the big day?
We talked about it. We were thinking about. She wanted. I have to be honest and say this. She wanted to do it this year in November. She said, "I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait." I said, "Well, look, let's take some time and get some things situated, and so it's going to definitely be next year, early next year."
All right. Most women don't want to wait. Like, we feel that if we've met him, what's the purpose of waiting? And I know older women, I'm 50, so I don't know how old you are. Older women, we like, look, we doing this thing. Let's just do it. We're not getting any younger. You know what I'm saying? So what's the wait? Hey, I'm on her team.
Well, I'm 47. I'm
Okay.
47. She's
Looking
actually.
good, brother.
Thank you, thank you. You know,
You're welcome.
I live a good life. I don't none of that little drama and stuff. Look, I could do away with that. She's 37. She's 10 years younger than I am, but we have
Okay.
so much in common. And actually, I was reading her books. She has a
Okay.
series of books. Um,
Nice.
and I was reading her books, and I'm like, wow, you have gone through just as much as I've gone through.
Okay.
She said, yeah. She read my book. She did the whole thing, the whole video interview, and
Oh, how
yeah,
awesome.
it was, and we're working on a couple collaborations as well. So
That's awesome to be together with someone and then to become a power couple with them.
yeah, and you know how you in relationships, and sometimes you be wondering like, I know they probably got somebody on the side. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
But this one was like, you know what? I'm not. It ain't even about that. You know, I can leave my phone around and I can have her answer. Hey, answer the phone.
And
It's
you
cool.
know, the funny thing about that, that's what me and my husband do. Like, I don't keep my phone is locked just in case it gets stolen.
Right.
However, he has the passcodes. He can
Yeah.
look at them at any time. I leave them up. You know how some people put them down?
Put 'em down.
I
Yeah.
leave my phone up. Like, it doesn't matter. No text message is going to come across that's inappropriate. And the crazy thing is, and help me out, I have saying have to say in all the years I've been on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
I got an almost dick pic. It was his belly instead. And I think years ago I might have got one, but that's it. Like, men just don't do that to me. Can you
Okay.
tell me why? And I mean, I'm glad, but can you tell me why from a man's perspective?
From a man's perspective, why they haven't
Why,
sent that?
yeah, because I hear a lot of women say, oh, they keep sending me dick pics and all
Well,
that,
you know
but I don't get
what?
that stuff.
It's the caliber of woman and the approach. It's the caliber of a woman. They know that they have to come correct with you. You know what I mean? That whole you're not impressed with the dick pics and all that other kind of stuff. That don't say you're more of a if a man stimulate your intellectual mindset. That's it. You know, it's
Okay,
not
I was like, am I weird? Like, I don't get them.
they know who to send dick pics to
Okay, okay,
because that's what they want. If they can send a dick pic or a woman sends a man the JJ pic,
right.
that's all they want. You know,
Okay,
so it's all in the approach. They know that your aura don't call for that.
okay, you said the aura. Got you. So, as a black man,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel living in America right now?
Um, I'm not scared.
Okay. Well, I know you got that big gun, that big, real big gun.
I got several guns.
Is that an AK-47 I've seen you
No, no,
holding?
no, no. That was a 50 caliber. That was a 50 caliber.
It's
The
big.
It's the most powerful handgun you can get. That's the most
Okay.
powerful handgun you can get. Um, a black man living in America today is frustrating at times because of what we're still dealing with. You know, the police, not only police brutality, not only the black on black crime, not only the high rate of being incarcerated. It's like it's frustrating
Okay. How do
at
you
all.
keep how do you keep your peace?
I meditate a lot.
Okay.
I meditate. I go to the range.
Okay.
I'm always writing. I'm always thinking. So I keep my mindset pretty level, whereas though I don't have to worry about looking over my shoulder or
Okay.
going out there. I got the cameras in my car.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start doing videos on that. How to make it back home safely. Being encountered by the police, because a lot of times I looked at the Castillo, what is
Okay.
it? The Castillo video where his girlfriend or his wife was in the passenger seat and I think his daughter in the back seat, and a cop panicked and killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, all of that could have been avoided.
Okay. So, and you might get the audience a little mad. So, are you saying that popping off at the mouth is enough to get you killed? Because that's how it might sound to other people. I understand what you're saying.
Is it enough to get you?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but
I'm saying this is what I'm saying. Nobody should ever get killed.
right.
Nobody should ever get killed. Let me just make that point. But running off at the mouth to quote unquote police officers, authorities, whatever,
Mhm.
will get you killed. Will get you killed. Quick, fast, and hurry. Is it right? Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's not the place to fight that battle.
Okay.
That's not the
So,
place.
but what is the place to fight that battle? Because as you see, um, there's so many black men and women now being killed who have done nothing.
Right.
Just being there at the wrong place at the wrong time, or the wrong cop comes up at the wrong time. And it's like your life is of no value. And I said on my Facebook page yesterday how Michael Vick went to jail for dog fighting,
Right.
but these white men aren't going to jail for killing a life, a black life.
Right. They a lot of times they never investigate the murder of a black person. What
Right.
they try to do is when they say they're investigating, they're trying to figure out a way to justify that murder.
Absolutely.
That's what they're trying to do. Because that life, cool, done, can't get it back. But that officer, we need that officer on the street. So, it's like a dog. It's like having a dog that bites a person. He's tasted blood now.
So I got to do it again.
He's going to
Because
do it
what
again.
do dogs do? They once they bite you and they got that taste of blood, they say you need to put it down
Right.
because it's going to attack again. Are you saying that we need to put these police officers down?
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Make it clear, bro.
My heart goes out. I'm going to make it very clear. My heart goes out to every victim that had been put down or killed by a police officer. If a police officer kills mine, God in heaven will not be able to protect that police officer, especially if it killed in the wrong. I'm coming for that police officer come hell or high water, and I'm going to get that police officer.
Got you. You know, a lot of people feel like you, but a lot of people won't say it.
You kill mine in cold blood, I'm coming for that police officer. I don't care. They can arm the entire department. I'm coming. Like a thief in the night, I'm coming.
Oh, you've been in that Bible.
Look, I mean, I've seen it's crazy, but I've seen so many YouTube videos where white officers are punching black women in the face and
Wow.
while they're handcuffed. And the whole Breonna Taylor case. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And all black people doing the marching, looting, doing all this stuff.
So you're not You're not with Martin Luther King. You're with Malcolm X.
I'm with Malcolm by any means necessary. Malcolm pretty much said, you burn down my house to make me homeless. I'm going to burn down your house to make you homeless, to show you what it is to be homeless.
Right.
You're not going to burn down my house and I'm going to just hold hands and pray that, you change your attitude and change your mindset. No. I'm going to show you what it is. Every time a little white kid gets killed, kidnapped, raped, molested, there's always a law that will protect those other white kids behind that. You got Megan's law, you got all these different laws. Anytime that happens to a black kid, there's no law. Okay. There's no law to protect and govern those black kids. So it's like, okay, well, it's like they say, is it the justice system or is it just us system?
I think it's a just us.
It's the just us. When we start loving and protecting our own and showing them that by any means necessary, we're going to protect our own, that's when law is going to change.
I totally agree with that. I think that people have to feel it, and the economy has to suffer.
Why do so many people have to keep getting killed or murdered for there to be a law? I mean, we have a racist president.
Right.
I mean, so he's backing, he don't care. He said himself, he can go in the middle of Broad Street or Broadway and kill somebody and get away with it.
Right. And he's right. He can. So I have to ask you this. Do you feel that the Black church has stifled the mentality of the Black culture, making them docile and weak?
Absolutely.
Tell me how.
Absolutely. Religion is, in my mind, is mass mind manipulation.
And he was a bishop, you all.
Yes, so. Absolutely. The Bible itself is very contradictory. Very contradictory. We can go through verse to verse, and you can find a verse, whatever you say, you can find a verse to match it and protect it and go along with it. The Black church, they'll feed some of the churches, depends on how big the church. You got some little mom and pop churches too, but they'll feed the church, they'll feed the members, but ultimately it's about.
I was fat as I don't know what. I was 183 pounds. I was always eating with the church folks. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like the same menu. You got chicken, you got macaroni and cheese, you got collard greens.
Good though.
You got some of them church members that can throw down.
The ones with big elbows, they can grease. They putting that love in it. I love them. Look.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
So they're making us fat with food. Keep going.
Oh yeah. On top of that, it's like it's like the preacher will tell the members, you take care of the man of God, and God will take care of you.
Okay, that's true.
Okay, so and what it means is, we're looking as the preacher, you're looking at the people, actual folk that's giving to the preacher.
Right.
Okay, giving to the preacher. So it's now the preacher depends on the people, but the people depend on God. But if God never shows up, then there must have been something you did. The reason why God is not answering your prayers.
Okay.
The reason why you're not being blessed.
So again, has the church made Black Christians docile?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think that that's why every time a black male or female gets killed, that they say, let's pray?
That's part of the reason. Let's pray. Let's hold the vigil in their honor. Let's give it to God. Let's give it to God. Let God handle it.
So we've been trying to allow God to handle it since slavery.
And God's sitting there. Depends on whoever look at God. Or I always tell people this is my perception of God.
Yeah,
God has already given us everything that we need.
I agree.
It's within. Okay. God, everybody some people might understand this concept, they may not, but they'll get it before this is over. God is everywhere and nowhere,
Okay,
and in everything
I
and
agree.
in nothing simultaneously.
Break it down.
God is everywhere, all over,
Got you.
in us and everywhere else,
Got you.
but nowhere at the same time.
Okay, break it down.
Everywhere in us, everywhere, nowhere. If we don't do anything, then God is not moving. God is not acting. Okay?
Yeah.
God is in everything. Church, any type of business, again, the people. Wherever the people are, that's where God is.
That is right.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you're not in church, God is not in church.
Got you. But he's still with me all the time.
All the time. Because God is within. Because God,
Yeah,
G-O-D,
within.
is the exact same thing that will continue to guide, G-U-I-D-E, you.
I
Through your
agree.
mind, your heart.
So do you think that a lot of people aren't being guided right now regarding Black Lives Matter?
They don't want to be guided.
What do they want?
They want the hard work to be done, and they just want to just fit in. It's like even in church, we can tell members whatever. It's like us as being the preachers, pastors, chief apostles, whatever the title that they want to give themselves.
Right.
We tell them whatever. Once they leave church, a lot of times the Bible is tucked under the chair to the following Sunday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So they
Okay.
depend on a man
Depend
or
on the man.
female to be fed all week long. However, they're not getting in tune with spirit for
Right.
self and being led and guided by spirit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you think we're headed to a race war? People said that we are, but when I'm thinking race war, I'm thinking about stuff that just happened in Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
Armed militia, people out there killing one another in the name of race.
Right. Now, it took my mind, that question took my mind back to Ferguson, where I think it was John Brown. That's John Brown in Ferguson. He got killed.
No, I think, wait a minute, was Ferguson the young lady? Is that when the militia was out? It's been so many, I can't.
The militia been out. Anytime black people go out there and start looting, cops don't care. They protect their own. However, there were militia groups coming from different states, coming in across the borders to protect Walmart and protect those stores and protect their families, and it was okay.
Okay.
Do I think we're headed for a race war?
In the streets, not what people are saying. We are in a race war, but
Right.
when I speak of a race war, I'm talking about people and you don't know who's who and people running everywhere. Do you think we're headed in that direction?
Potentially. Potentially. It could end up that way. It depends on the mindset of the people.
We see the
It-
mindset of the people. We see what's going on. We see
right.
that people can have weapons like the one you have, just walking
Mhm.
down the street, calling themselves protecting what's
Mhm.
theirs or what's not theirs.
Right.
So what do we do as everyday citizens, normal citizens, to protect ourselves?
Well, some people will say, well, I'll have the Bible, God's word, the armor of protection. And then there's others that say, well, look, you can keep the Bible, you can keep the religious books. I'm going to arm myself with the proper or necessary gun or weapon of choice. So
Gotcha. You have a bow and arrow too, don't you?
I most certainly do.
You know those things can really do damage.
Absolutely. I've been hunting since I was 12 years old.
Really, a black man hunting?
What?
I mean, my uncle used to hunt too when I was little, but yeah, a black man hunting, like before him, I wasn't exposed to that.
Yeah. I go hunting every year. I go
Nice.
deer hunting. I go deer hunting every year. Ever since I was age 12, been hunting.
Who taught you how to hunt?
My father. My father actually took us to the range. We went to the hunter education course.
Okay.
He wanted us to know about those weapons that was on the street, or he wanted us to be privileged to go out there and be able to hunt for food, for meat, in the event we ever needed it.
Right.
But we had to understand that the dangers of a gun or a bow and arrow as well. So
Okay.
definitely, because
So,
if anything happened at the house, of course you better know how to operate.
right. So, did you also learn the terrain? Because that's very important.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Did you know that bullets are low right now? There's really no ammunition. Like as soon as it comes in, it's gone. Did you know that?
Yes, and I know it's a shortage, quote unquote shortage. That shortage only means that we're only going to sell to a certain people. We're not going to give it to them, but we're going to sell it to them. We're going to sell it to the white people first so that they're able to be armed. We're going to limit the number of what we sell to blacks. However, again, my father taught us how to refill and make our own bullets.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's survival of the fittest. You better know something.
I agree with you. I've never wanted a gun, but we have three thus far. And I've been looking at one like yours here lately. No, I'm serious.
Get something. I would tell any woman, 9 millimeters are good, 10 millimeters are good, 380s are good. Get something that you can handle.
Right.
You
Well, I
know?
have my own that I can handle. I made sure of that.
Okay.
But, I like what you got.
I mean, I have 10 millimeters. I have a 50 caliber.
You
I have
know
a
that long one. That's the one I keep referring. That real long one.
50 caliber. That's a
I
50
was like,
caliber.
man.
Oh yeah.
So, do you know that there's hardly any weapons to be bought out there?
Well, they better learn how to make some.
You might want to give a course on making weapons, and that way you can make some money and train some people. Just my business mind churning.
Everything is a weapon. I mean, taking it back to even 9/11. I mean, when those planes went down, everything is a weapon. Everything can be used as a weapon.
Right,
Everything.
that's true.
I
That's
mean,
true.
when your mind goes into survival mode, everything becomes a weapon. Pencils, pens, everything.
Right,
Belt buckle, anything. Soda can.
right.
You know you can
Yeah.
do some damage. You put 2 soda cans in a pillowcase, wrap it up. You can do some damage. What?
Okay. Never thought of it like that, but yes.
What?
Okay, okay. So I want to go back to relationships. Are you having a big wedding?
You know what? I always say this. When people find out that you're getting married, you can have a list of 100 people, 50 on each side. When
Uh-huh.
people find out that you're getting married, people come out
Uh-huh.
of the woodworks. What?
Uh-huh.
Not Lamont. What?
Did they think you were crazy? Did they say, well, he was just engaged about 2 years ago and he's getting married again? Did they say that?
No, they actually they're like, what? I need to see who you're marrying.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I mean, it's like I don't just go out there and say, yeah, well, it didn't work with her. No, it didn't work with her. I'm
Lamont, I'm going to go back and listen to that audio
uh-huh.
from March or April. I
Okay.
just, I just knew. And now that we're talking about it again, I remember saying she's just going to love you to life. Like, just, I remember that. That's
And
deep.
she does. She loves me to life.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
happy.
we do things like out of surprise. Like the other day, actually, she's down here with me now. The other day,
Nice.
I
Wait a minute. Does she live with you?
she lives in Pennsylvania. Actually, she lives in
Oh,
Montgomery County.
no. I was going to say, is she there right now?
She's here right now. Yes,
Tell
she's here.
her to come on in there too. Tell her to come on.
Right
Yeah.
now.
So, you guys, this is such a pleasant surprise for me that I'm getting ready to meet Lamont's fiance because we had talked in March, April on a webinar, and I just remember speaking some things to him, and now here she is.
Just hi. She wants you to say hi.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
Just speaking
I
to
am
you.
wonderful. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Oh, I am happy for you both.
I'm not live ready, but how you doing? Thank
Oh,
you.
Lamont, that is super duper amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do me a favor, show
Huh?
my listening audience your book and tell us about your book and where they can get it from.
Okay. This is my book.
I've stood inside the eye of hell and remained fearless. I love that. Is that the third eye in between that sword?
Yes, it is. Yes, it
I
is.
love it, love it, love it. Oh, and I see the male and the female right there, the representing love. I'm taking it.
Yes.
Oh, and this is you, the giant.
Well,
My
that's
God.
that's that's the guardian. That's actually the guardian. If
Okay.
you look at the guardian, that's the people might call them angels or what have you,
Okay.
but
Okay.
that's the angel that's actually watching over you with the staff.
I
But in the
love.
background, it's a burning church.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
Yeah. So it goes deep into religion and spirituality.
Gotcha.
But the book is about how you have so many different people, whether it's family members, friends, relatives, whatever, um, that are in your life.
Okay.
Yet they're shaking your hand, saying "I love you." They whispering sweet nothings.
Right.
In the midst of a storm, put yourself in a tornado. You're in the eye of the storm.
It's
You're
peace.
seeing the same people that shook your hand, patted you on your back, say "I love you," whisper sweet nothings in your ear. Yet these same individuals are throwing stones at you, are shooting bullets at you, talking trash about you, telling lies on you. So while you're in the eye of the storm, you see all of this. But the eye of the storm is the safest place to be. So
Yes.
when I stood inside the eye of the in the eye of hell and remain fearless, that's the moment where you recognize everybody for who they really are. and what they
Wow.
represent.
I love that. And the third eye will show you.
The third eye will show you. If you have it open and you're paying attention.
That's right. Now, how could my listening audience contact you for coaching or any of your services?
Well, my number is 267-241-6271. I can be reached, of course, through Dr. Sharon Griffin.
Oh, God, don't give me that title.
I can be reached through social media at Lamont Bershawn, and I can also be reached on my email, bishopsneedlove2@gmail.com.
Well, Lamont, it's always a blessing talking to you and receiving such knowledge.
Thank you.
I thank you for honoring me with your presence. And I would like to thank my audience for tuning in to One-on-One with Sharon K. Griffin. I ask that you enjoy your weekend, stay safe, stay prayed up, but also do something about it. Have a blessed night, everyone.
Your way, because freedom costs you the bus, you're not lost, 'cause freedom